Hello. You must be our newest employee. Welcome to the Qore family. I'm Brady. I am the founding partner, and I'm here to give you a little bit of an onboarding into Qore company culture and also understanding a little bit about American work culture to better prepare you for your role here at Qore. So let's jump right in. Who is Qore? You may be pretty familiar. Maybe you've looked into the company a little bit, but we are essentially an intermediary service provider. So we have a client who described it really well as a father and mother type relationship. We are the mother in the business relationship of trying to take care of all of your needs in the company, providing development for you, providing community, providing a space for you to work and grow and develop. And the father, if you will, is the one that will give you tasks and kind of be overseeing your projects from generally America or abroad. And so we kind of like to see ourselves in this type of father-mother relationship where we are connecting you with good clients who you will work for directly. You will be their employee, but we kind of help facilitate a lot of that and ensure that you have everything you need to be set up for success. So that's kind of who we are as far as a company goes. We are an American company. We're based out of America, but right now all of our talent we recruit from Tunisia. So why does Qore exist? Our simple answer is to multiply hope. Me and my partners, that was one of our biggest drivers and why we started Qore here, is we saw a lot of great potential here in Tunisia and saw a lot of hopelessness. People's hope was in a job abroad or a place abroad. And it seemed like a lot of Tunisians really had lost hope that they could find something here, that they could have a good career and a life here, that they could raise their family here with their family, and that their kids could have a good future here. And so we wanted to try to bring the best opportunities we could here and provide hope to Tunisians, especially the Tunisians who have a vision for a better Tunisia and want to stay and help bring that better Tunisia into the present. So yeah, our short answer is to multiply hope. But we also have a little bit more to that. We really honestly believe that God is inviting marketplace leaders into a movement to transform Tunisia as they experience and multiply hope. And so you'll hear us talk about multiplying hope as well. Hope is something that is contagious. And when somebody sees somebody succeed and have a breakthrough, it can provide hope for other people to see, okay, that person succeeded. They had this awesome thing happen to them. Maybe it can happen to me. And so hope in three categories: hope in purposeful calling, in lifestyle contentment, and in healthy relationships. And as best as we can as a company, those are the three areas of hope we try to pour into and invest into our employees and really anybody that comes in contact with Qore. So our mission and our values, our Qore company values are collaboration, leadership, integrity, passion, and quality. Those are our five main values that are integral into everything that we do. Most of those are probably familiar words. Integrity might be one you're not as familiar with because it's a very specific word, but integrity just means trustworthiness. It's the that you're a person that we can count on, that you'll do the right thing even when nobody's watching. And then our mission, as far as our Tunisian offices are concerned, is serving to our best to leave our customers impressed and to bring hope to Tunisia. That's our mission and our drive behind everything that we do. So at Qore, we try to be like family and as best as we can. We want work here to feel like family, to have deep relationships. We want to be unified. We want to work together with respect and kindness, and we expect this of everybody. We expect a level of value for everyone because we're all human. As family, we also want to help you take care of your family. And so in benefits and the things that we're doing, trying to give you good salaries and good career options, those are all things that hopefully overflow into blessing your family as well. Now, business expectations and cultural norms. Here we'll get into a little bit about how Americans tick, because Americans are a little weird, and we're a little different than French if you've worked with French companies in the past. So Americans really love working hard, and they will expect this of others. And I would say even to a fault. You might see movies where the American dad is always working and it's hurting his family because he works too much. That, unfortunately, is a reality. Americans work a lot and they really highly value work, even to the point where it hurts their relationships sometimes. Americans really highly value time and comfort. So if you are ever thinking about starting a service to American people or making a product for American people, if it gives them more time in their day or it makes them more comfortable, it will probably do really well. Those are two things that Americans mutuali. Americans also really expect you to keep your word. So far I have not really seen another country that has the same level of this. I've heard of instances maybe in Japan and China that could be similar, but I think a lot of this comes from older generations, where my grandpa, for example, in his generation, they would do huge contracts. I mean, selling millions of dollars of land, and a handshake basically sealed the deal. They would still do the formal signing contracts and things like that, but once you gave your word, once you shook on it, it was as good as done. And a lot of this has carried over into business and business expectations now. When you say you're going to do something and you commit to something, the expectation is you will do your best to try to do that. Now, in case that freaks you out a little bit, if circumstances change and you need to change, by all means, bring that up, and there's grace to make adjustments. But that is kind of the natural understanding. The other thing, too, Americans really desire efficiency and revenue in businesses. And so those are the two driving factors that they're processing and thinking about. This might sound very capitalistic and cold, but in a capitalistic society, really, when those two things are done well, everybody benefits. When the company runs efficiently, everybody has more organization, they know their role. Sometimes there's even more wiggle room. And then also when the company does better as far as revenue, or they're doing better in as far as sales, everybody has more room to breathe. You have bigger budgets to do the things that you need to do. And the same applies really to the nation. And so that's kind of why businesses really focus in on efficiency and revenue. And I would even go as far as to say I think any good business internationally really should focus on those as well. Americans also think clarity is much better than guessing or assuming. And so I, and probably your client, would highly, highly, highly encourage you to ask as many questions as you might have. Even if you feel like it's a dumb question or you've asked it before, it's always better to be clear and have that clarity than to guess and make a mistake and have to redo something. So I worked in Coca-Cola for a while, and this was amongst Americans. Like, this isn't even different cultures or anything like that. And this guy wasn't my boss, but a manager gave an employee a task, a role, a project. And it was a big project. And the girl thought she understood the direction and what she was supposed to do, but not 100%. And instead of getting clarification and understanding the project to the extent she needed to, she started working in a direction that was the wrong direction. And after working on it for about 2 or 3 weeks, the manager checked in and saw she was going the complete wrong direction, and she needed to restart everything and go the direction he wanted her to go in. And all that really would have taken was a couple quick questions, and she would have saved herself a lot of double work. And so we want to encourage you, ask as many questions as you need. We'll be happy to answer all the questions you have, and think that clarity is much more important than guessing or assuming. It will save you a lot of time in the long run. So here's a little bit about proper American business etiquette, just some proper norms. Be timely and as best as you can. Work with honesty and integrity. Dress appropriately for work. Avoid gossip and eavesdropping. Eavesdropping might be a new word for you as well. Eavesdropping is listening in on a conversation where the communicators don't know that you're listening, or you're not welcome to that communication. That would be eavesdropping. So as a company, as core employees, we really want to try to avoid gossip and eavesdropping. Be respectful to everyone. Try not to interrupt. Be polite and professional in all forms of communication. And so, especially in formal communication like emails, don't use emojis. Try not to use slang words. Try to be professional in that type of communication. When you do write emails, proofread your emails for mistakes. This is something that I even need to do all the time, but just double check your email, read it once through to make sure it makes sense. There's no spelling errors, there's no grammar errors. That will make you look a lot more professional, and it just takes a little extra time to double check that. Try to keep your workspace neat and respect others' workspaces. We do have a lot of shared spaces here, and it's just nicer and cleaner when everybody tries to do their part in making sure that it stays clean. Don't be a complainer, but a problem solver. And then finally, be gracious to your coworkers. We were all new once, we were all figuring things out, we all made the newbie mistakes. We want to extend grace to you as you're figuring things out, but then we expect you to be gracious to the new people as well. And then finally, these are our specific core expectations. So kind of everything we've talked about, these are some of the key things we'll expect of you. You'll be to work on time, and you'll track your time accurately in Zoho. Zoho is our CRM tool, and it's our time tracking tool. And even if you're tracking time with your client, we ask that you track it with us as well, so that we have a record in case our client is asking and saying, hey, I think they're showing up late pretty consistently, or they didn't clock in, or what's going on here. We can have a record as well to talk intelligibly about your time and your work. You will work your allotted hours yourself. So if you have some friends who are in the same domain and you want to take a couple days of vacation, you can't have your friends do your work for you. Our clients are contracting specifically with you for the work. You'll provide good service to our customers. The better that you work with our clients, the more likely it is that we can employ other Tunisians with good clients and more work, and kind of help bring better jobs into Tunisia. If you have problems or questions, you'll ask for clarity. We want you to know exactly what you need to do and not have any confusion. Ask your clients, ask a coworker if you need, but we want you to not be guessing or assuming. While you're at work, your work is your priority. And so the expectation here, and some of this is carryover from American business expectations, but you'll probably be working an 8-hour day, and our expectation is that you're working those 8 hours. It's fine to have pauses. Obviously, you have a lunch break, but aside from those kind of normal things, we really expect you to be working fully those 8 hours. And if you find that you have some downtime, the best thing to do is reach out to your client and say, hey, I finished this project or this task. Is there anything else you want me to be working on right now? Your client will love if you do that. And then finally, you'll respect others' opinions, their ideas, and their beliefs. Although mostly we have Tunisians here, we have a really diverse workforce. People from all over the country. We have some international people, some Americans, people from all different faith backgrounds, and people from all different backgrounds as far as political beliefs or ideologies. I personally am a Christian, and that affects how I think, how I lead, how I do business. And we really think that the mixture and the openness of all of those kinds of ideas and beliefs is really helpful and fruitful. We don't want people to feel shy or embarrassed. In fact, the sharing of ideas can actually really improve our decision making and maybe find opportunities that we could be better. So we want Qore to be an environment where there's grace in that. People don't have to hide from anything, and they can be respected for sharing their actual opinions, ideas, and beliefs openly. So that's everything. If you have any questions, just because this is a video, feel free to write directly to me, to Siwar or Jihene, and we would love to answer any questions that you might have. So welcome to the team. We're really excited to have you guys joining us. I can't wait to meet you in person.